Hi, everyone. This is Shuo Chen. I am a former entrepreneur, now investing in entrepreneurs and teaching entrepreneurship at Stanford and Berkeley. And I'm also a board member here at Decode, the largest tech and entrepreneurship community co-hosted between Berkeley and Stanford. Last week, we answered one of our top founder questions, which is how to do founder-led sales. So this week, we're actually diving a little bit deeper into how do you run these early sales calls. So without further ado, let's dive into the specific tactics. So first of all, last week, we talked about how when you're running into these early founder-led sales conversations, to start with high-level questions and frame it as an expert interview. And this week, we're talking about how to run these early calls. And I want to connect the dots here because even on these early sales calls, we should be leading with curiosity and not with features from our solutions. So even though last week we already talked about framing it as an expert interview, this time around, even though it's a direct sales call, you should really start by keeping an open conversation and asking this potential buyer about their struggles. Learn their top priorities and how you can really build something to help them improve based on their priorities. You want to get deeper into their tech stack, understand their budget, understand their buying process, and really test if they really want your market. You're not testing for your ability to sell it, so you want to make sure to let curiosity guide the conversation. That leads into our second tactic, which is focusing on A/B testing constantly. You're, again, focusing on learning how to tell your story, not just to sell your product. You want to test everything from how you message to the flow that you're demoing with, the different personas you could be selling to, the pricing of your product. You want to learn what resonates and which parts get people most excited and most engaged. And of course, over time, you want to iterate and review what worked and what didn't after every single call. You can even have multiple co-founders or other teammates during the call, and so that you can challenge each other when you do a review to see whether or not you're missing something or one person's biased in one direction versus another. So diving into our last tactic, you really want to focus on a light process early on for these early sales calls because it's all about focusing on recurring patterns and setting up processes so that you can easily repeat this process over and over again. You want to ask yourself key questions like, who are we engaging in each meeting? What information are we sharing at each stage? What are the next steps after each meeting? What are the criteria before engaging this person further? How many meetings should we have? And what are we saying yes and no to? And all of these will help you establish patterns that will help you run through all of these sales calls faster, more smoothly in the future to help you minimize your time and maximize learnings from each one. So with that, if you want to learn more about how to do early sales calls, please subscribe to our newsletter linked below, and we'll see you at our next week's answering another one of our top founder questions. Thanks so much.